Hi and welcome back to the channel. Regular viewers will know that I use my camper van predominantly as a base for walks and bike rides, usually somewhere in the Scottish Highlands. And because of that, I'm in the strange privileged position of being able to try out some new bikes, mostly e-bikes, as they come on the market. Now, most of these bikes come mail order from China, but recently I was contacted by a company called Heybike. They were founded in 2021 in the United States and have enjoyed immediate success with their commuter e-bikes. And they've very quickly established themselves, not only in the United States, but also here in Europe, in Dusseldorf in Germany. And they also have an office in the UK. Now, in only 2 years, Heybike have 40 e-bike models with cruiser, mountain, folding bikes, city bikes, in fact, tyre options. And I believe they've sold something like 80,000 bikes in that time. Now, that's not bad going in 2 years. The company asked me if I'd like to try the new EC1 model, and I think that stands for electric commute, but I could be wrong. But I noticed they also do a step-through version. Now, nearly all the YouTube bike videos I've seen feature men's bikes, so I thought it might be quite interesting to feature a woman's bike for a change. Although, having said that, I know a few blokes who ride step-through bikes because they're unable to, and pardon the phraseology here, but they're unable to get their leg over. Okay, the EC1-ST comes in a choice of 3 colours, off-white, pink and blue, and I went for the blue option. And this bike comes in one size only to suit people between just over 5 feet and just over 6 feet. Now, I'm 5'11", and I actually found it quite comfortable. It's essentially a tarmac commuting bike. But as you'll see later, it's also quite at home on bike tracks and well-groomed gravel tracks. Now, you won't want to ride it on very rough tracks for the simple reason it doesn't have any suspension. But it does have a fairly decent 700 by 40 centimetre studded tyre, and that certainly helps. Okay, this is the Heybike EC1 step-through, and this is how it arrived at my house. Heybike's EC1 step-through is extremely well packaged, and even for a technical numpty like me, it was pretty easy to put the thing together. Okay, the bike has an aluminium frame and it weighs 19 kg. Now, that's a lot lighter than most similar e-bikes, and it doesn't even look like an e-bike. The battery is very slim and fits very neatly into the frame of the bike. Now, it's not the most powerful of batteries, 360 watts, 36 volts, but enough to give you a good 40 miles or so to a charge, depending how you ride the bike, of course. You can keep a check on the battery power using this little light function or on the handlebar mounted LED displays. That's quite useful. You can charge the battery by removing it from the bike and plug it into the wall, or you can simply charge it with the battery in situ using this little port. The LED display is large and clear, and it shows all the usual function. I really like it. You get speed, miles cycled, and the power settings, of which there are 3, with a top speed of 15 miles an hour. Now, these can all be adjusted by using the control, which is large enough to allow you to change function, even when wearing gloves in winter, and I think that's a big bonus. The RSX disc brakes are efficient, and it's good to see hydraulic brakes on a bike of this price point. I think that's really good. That's a good move. The hub motor is 250 volts, which is a legal standard in the UK. And as you'll hear later, it's surprisingly powerful. Probably because it's propelling a relatively light bike. The 7-speed Shimano Tournay offers good value for money from a very reputable company, and the thumb finger gear shifter is simple to work. Perfect for a commuting bike. Now, you can fit any pedals you would like on this bike, but it comes with these flat pedals, which I think are fine for a bike of this type. Again, the Heybike saddle is fine, but you might just want to change it for a wider model. But hey, saddles are a very personal choice. I love my old Brooks saddle and I wouldn't change it for anything. Tyres are 700 by 40 centimetres and apparently puncture-proof, fine for roads and well-maintained gravel tracks. There's even a kendo front light, but curiously, you don't get a rear light. You have to supply that yourself. And here's a fine bonus. There's an app. It connects by Bluetooth and it shares all the information you get on the LED screen. So that might be useful, might not be, depends if you're into apps or not, I guess. So there you have it, but you want to know how it rides, don't you? Well, I enlisted the help of my good friend and neighbour Carol, who put the bike through its paces on tarmac, on some country tracks, and in a more urban setting, Newton Moors High Street. Okay, Carl, what are your first thoughts on the Heybike?
Well, having had the opportunity to ride this Heybike in such a beautiful setting, what can I say? It's only 19 kilos, so it's easy to get on and off a bike rack or a lift over a gate if necessary. It's got a step through, which is ideal, and it's got a fair bit of power about it. It certainly goes some. Nice easy ride. What's not to like about it? It's great.
Well, Carol seemed to like that bike, and I would suggest that for the money, less than £1,500, you get a pretty decent e-bike. The various components, brakes, gears, motor, tyres, etc. are all kind of budget components, but they're all fine. Consider this an entry-level e-bike, and if you want a bike for commuting or just enjoying some road trips in the country, then it offers fantastic value for money. I like the fact it's relatively lightweight for an e-bike, and Carol made the very good point that it rides pretty easily even when the battery isn't switched on, or maybe in the unfortunate occasion when you run out of battery power. I also like the very clean lines of this bike. The various cables are pretty well hidden away, and you know this, it really doesn't look like an e-bike. The bike retails at £1,500 or so, but you can get a €400 discount simply by subscribing to Heybike's emails, and I'll put all the information down below here. And while you're at it, perhaps you'd like to think of subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already, and hit that wee notification bell so we can let you know whenever a new video is being published. That would be really helpful. Well, that's it. The dark days of winter are well and truly with us now. So I'm going to put on the wood fire, pour myself a nice dram and sit back and think of summer. Enjoy your bike, enjoy your camper van, stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.